PK Fire!
Hello guys, Dusty here with another YouTube video, and it's a pickup video for video games because we found more of them finally after, how long has it been? Feels like years, but I think it's been a month now. So, yeah, I suppose I'll go through these. And now, basically all of these video games were found from the same actual time, same trip to the Goodwill, and it was quite the trip to the Goodwill. So I'm going to kind of go over the story, I suppose. So it was Saturday night. I was actually out on my way to my parents' house to take care of the dog, and I decided I'd go ahead and stop at the Goodwill. So I did such things as those, and I walked into the Goodwill, walked over to where they keep the carts, and I saw something unusual in one of the carts. All right, now I'll show you what I saw. If I can move my microphone for a moment. I saw this. Ouch. I saw this. That didn't actually hurt. This. A 6-button arcade pad for the Sega Genesis. So, I was like, okay, this is for real showtime. There might be more stuff in here. I look at the carts. I actually, get out of my zone. Look at the carts. There's Sega Genesis games everywhere, right? They're in all the carts, just spread out. So I was like, okay, just shoveling Sega Genesis games into my hands. And I realized this isn't working because my hands were too full of Sega Genesis games. So I found one of the carts that was actually more Sega Genesis games than other stuff, put all of the stuff that wasn't Sega Genesis games in another cart, and just started throwing Genesis games in the cart, and just digging through all these other carts looking for more Sega Genesis games. So, that being said, I actually also found some other things too. I found, well, I'm going to get to that later. But I also found a some Nintendo games, of course. So I'm going to go ahead and start, actually, with some of the random things that I found. If I can, once again, move my microphone here. By the way, completely different recording setup now. I decided, you know what? While I am not able to find video games, I might as well figure out a better recording setup, one that, is a little bit higher production quality. So I hope you guys enjoy this. But yeah, I found a few games. For one, I found Summoner on the PlayStation 2. I did not have it before. It was $2. It was complete, so I figured, what the heck, might as well throw it in the cart with everything else. And then I also found Army Men Sarge's Heroes for the PlayStation. I only had it for the Dreamcast, so cool, I suppose. It says real combat in plastic men, so that's fun. Okay, so now I guess I might as well just go through all these Genesis games. Actually, no. Before I do, I looked through the carts. I kept looking through them and looking through them, and I ended up somehow managing to find another Sega Genesis controller. Now, and by the way, I should say, too, that these are not actually the 6-button controllers in the box. The 3-button controllers are in the box. For some reason, somebody just decided, okay, I'm going to upgrade both my controllers to 6-button controllers rather than having the regular 3-button controllers. I'm just going to throw those in the box and donate them to the Goodwill 25 years later. So, their loss is my gain. And now I have way more 3-button controllers than I need for the Sega Genesis. In boxes for the 6-button controllers. I assume that's what happened anyway, but, it could have been something else. Okay, so we also found, just get some of the random stuff out of the way here. For let me say it again in the microphone, $5, a PlayStation 2 fat model. I haven't tested it out, so I don't know if it works yet. It probably doesn't, but $5. Figured might as well throw that in the cart too. Because why not? And then we get to the Genesis games. If we can, once again, move our microphone. Still trying to figure out this situation, so if you have any feedback, let me know in the YouTube comments down below. But yeah, for starters, we have, and I've put these in cinematic order, by the way, so yeah, the cheaper ones are in front, and the, more sought-after ones are later in the pile. But for starters, we found Monopoly. Yeah, Monopoly for the Genesis. In the cardboard box, it was just the game and nothing else, but it was $3. And all of these Sega Genesis games were $3, and all the Nintendo games that I found were $3. The PlayStation game there was $1. The PlayStation 2 game there was $2, and each of the controllers were $5. For some reason, I forgot to mention that, but that is a thing. That is a thing. So, Monopoly for the Sega Genesis. Next up, we have Jurassic Park for the Sega Genesis. And once again, and guys, I don't know off the top of my head what games are sought after for the Sega Genesis and what aren't. So I don't know if I'm getting a good deal on some of these or not in the heat of the moment. But I figured $3 for just about any in-the-box Genesis game is decent. So I figured I'd just pick up just about everything I saw. So if you see some, like, why did you pay that much for that? That is why. Then we got Real Monsters, based off of the Nickelodeon series, and once again, no manual, just the cart. That's fine. We got Tom and Jerry, Frantic Antics for the Sega Genesis. Difficult to open one. There we go. Just the cart. We got Tiny Toons Adventures, Buster's Hidden Treasure for the Sega Genesis. Cart and manual. We found another copy of Sonic the Hedgehog. I do already have this game, of course, but it doesn't hurt to have another copy. $3, and with a cartridge that's about to fly out, of course, and a manual. So, yeah. Which this may almost be an upgrade to my current manual, honestly. I haven't looked at my manual in years. But we also found, get this, hey, I have this game again, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yes, for the longest time, I did not actually have Sonic the Hedgehog 2, because, kind of funny story, I had sold a copy of Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on eBay, and eBay ended up screwing up my shipping labels, so it got sent to the wrong person. So I ended up having to send that person my personal copy. So yeah, I've been without Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for a little over a year now, I think. So it's good to finally have it back again, even though I don't really particularly like this game. It is good to have it again. And this is the not for resale copy, and it has the manual with it too, so that's pretty cool. Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Okay. Who else found? Pack Attack with all the documents in it, manual, and even some random notes that the person who had the game took. And cartridge in there. Yeah. Manual. Everything. It's got it all. Oh, we got Spider-Man and X-Men from Flying Edge Games, which I've never heard of in my entire life. But it has the cartridge and manual, so I figured, hey, that's worth it. Everything's falling over. A game that I have heard good things about, of course, is Aladdin for the Sega Genesis, which I did not have. It is complete, in good shape. As most of the rest of these games, actually, very few of them don't have the manual with them. You know, of the better games, so I suppose that's good. But yeah, nonetheless, Aladdin, I've heard very good things about the Genesis Aladdin, so gonna be cool to play that at some point. We also got The Lion King. Once again, one of those Disney platformers that was very good on the Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo. So, and it is complete and in good shape. So, though all these games are incredibly dusty, not just because I own them. Anyway, let's get these games closer to me. Yeah, maybe I should have a shotgun mic. I don't know. I just like my Electro Voice RA20 too much. How you doing? Yeah, I don't use it enough. Anyway. We've got Cool Spot for the Sega Genesis, complete. It was in good shape. Now it's probably broken. But yeah, Cool Spot for the Sega Genesis. You know, these cases do not hold these games very well, I've found. In my experience today, we found World Heroes for the Sega Genesis, which, yeah, missing the manual, but it does have the cartridge in, so that's pretty cool. Which I believe is a just fighting game, so yeah, whatever. We got Judge Dredd on the Sega Genesis, which I believe was just the cartridge. Yep. Yeah, Judge Dredd. Did not have that one before. In fact, I didn't have just about any of these before, aside from Sonic 1, and then of course Sonic 2 I no longer had. And Monopoly I had card only. But yeah, other than that, these are pretty much all new to me. So that's awesome. I love finding stuff that I don't have already because I get to add it to the collection and it gets to take up even more shelf space. And yeah, I don't have room. I don't have room at all in this room. I need to get my new game room going. But yeah, for now, we have to deal with it. We got Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. I have this on the Super Nintendo. It is a terrible game, but nonetheless, it's good to have complete. Just to point and laugh, and this game's terrible. But yeah, that's why I like having it. I'm gonna try to slide these over so I can actually get to them. All right, we've got NBA Jam. Just the regular edition, not the tournament edition. I do actually already have the tournament edition, though, right here. So, hey, look at that. I also have to make sure that this isn't glaring. I have the direct light off of it, but it's on a soft umbrella, my lighting now. So yeah, it should look nicer. Hopefully, I'm hoping this looks better than just my phone because I'm using my real camera, my real microphone, my real lighting. So hopefully, it should be fine. NBA Jam. I don't know if I showed you this again. We got the manual. We got the cartridge. All is well. Clay Fighter for the Sega Genesis. Another one that I didn't have. And this one is just a cartridge, but it is complete in, well, aside from the cartridge, of course, in the cardboard box. We've got Asterix and the Great Rescue here. Which I remember hearing good things about this game. That are really bad things. The games that are remembered are only either really bad or really good. Everything else is just forgotten. So, but I have heard of this one. But it is just the cartridge and the case, of course. We've got the Addams Family for the Sega Genesis. This one is with the cartridge and the manual. And it is in decent shape. And this one's actually, you know, one that people are actually looking for, so that's cool. We also have Arrow the Acrobat. Unfortunately, not the second one, because the second one is, like, just great. People really want that one. I don't know if that one's considerably better than this one. I don't think it's any less common, but, yeah, nonetheless, Arrow the Acrobat, and I believe this one is also cartridge only. You know that thing I said about most of the rest of them not being cartridge only? Well, yeah, not very good at that whole knowing what I'm talking about thing. We've got Mickey's Ultimate Challenge for the Sega Genesis here. Complete. And this one's another, like, fairly uncommon game. So, you know, cool to have that added to the collection. We also have another one that I've heard things about, Dynamite Headdy. This one is just the cartridge, of course, but nonetheless, glad to have that. We've got kind of a really cool find here. We've got Toe Jam and Earl in Panic on Funkatron. Cool game to have found since this one people are actually like touting as a really good platformer. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely have to play this one at some point. But yeah, I've heard very good things about it, so excited to have it. Then, of course, last but definitely not least, we found Rocket Knight Adventures complete in the case. That's pretty sweet. Yeah, an absolutely fantastic Konami platformer. I did actually have this card only that I picked up. I think it was last year, actually, that I picked this one up card only. But yeah, now I actually have it complete, so I'll be able to get rid of my loose cart. And that should hopefully recoup a little bit of the money that I spent on all this stuff. Because keep in mind, though these games were only... I missed a game, too. But though these games were only $3 a piece, my total added up to $120. So kind of took a chunk of change out of my wallet there. But I regret nothing. But yeah, we also did miss a game that fell behind and whatnot. Echo the Dolphin. Did not own this one before, so good to have found it. It is only card only, but once again. And when I say card only, of course, you know that it has the case, too. I just can't speak very well. Okay. Moving right along, we're going to try to slide the Nintendo games toward me. Which, with the one that's on the bottom of the stack, is highly ill-advisable, but nonetheless, we did it. So to get started, each of these were $3. Some of them have the labels removed because they, for some reason, decided to put the not the labels, sorry, the price tags removed because they decided to put them on the label for some reason. I don't know. I don't know why you would do such things, but nonetheless, we got RBI Baseball for the Nintendo, and I did have the Tenjin version of this cart, but now I have the gray Nintendo version, so that's pretty cool. We got Gauntlet again for $3. Not a bad find. Though I believe the Tenjin version of this cart is kind of sought after. Maybe it's Gauntlet 2, I can't remember. We got the Goonies 2 for the Nintendo. We found another copy of the rarest game on the Nintendo, Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. I'm going to be a millionaire after I shoot this video, but yeah, Mario Bros. Duck Hunt. This is actually a very clean copy of it. Now, is it in better condition than my Super Mario Bros. Duck Hunt of this era? That's debatable. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to have to put those against each other to the test to find out which one is better. We've got a Nintendo Seal version of Super Mario Bros. 2. I do already have both the Nintendo Seal and non-Nintendo Seal version of Super Mario Bros. 2. Nonetheless, cool to find Super Mario Bros. 2 in the wild for $3. Then, of course, we also found Super Mario Bros. 3, the whole trilogy right there, which, yeah, once again, already have this one. I believe already have this exact same version. Hopefully, we'll find out. Yeah, they look the same. So, yeah, and this is property of a Schaubekowick. I don't know. You try to read this name. I'm going to try to get it nice and close to you so you can see it, and hopefully the camera will focus. There we go. But yeah, that's a long name. Anyway, we found Metroid. And not only that, we found the gray label version of Metroid. Now, I do already have Metroid, but I have the awesome label version. So, yeah, did not have this version of the cartridge before. We'll be keeping it, of course, and it feels moderately heavy. There might be a Famicom converter in this. I'll let you know if there is, and I won't let you know if there isn't. Or maybe I'll edit it in on the screen. I don't know. I'm editing my videos now, so that might happen. Awesome. Then next up, we got Excite Bike. This is a game that I actually did not own. I did not own Excite Bike for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So, and I absolutely love Excite Bike for the Nintendo Entertainment System. So, of course, very, 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 very happy to have finally found this one. Then, last but definitely not least, we're picking this up with my feet, of course. Okay, so how do I unveil this? Okay, so this is probably the most valuable game I've ever found in the wild. Debatably, I suppose. I don't know. There could be other games that I haven't really thought about in a while that are more valuable. But I think my most valuable game find was actually Conker's Bad Fur Day before these pickups. Honestly, I think that it would be between Conker's Bad Fur Day and Brigandine the Legend of Fresina on the PlayStation 1. Somewhere between those two, I think this one surpasses them both. And it is, of course, Bucky O'Hare for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Once again, it was property of Schaubekowick. I think that's actually a first and last name. I don't know. I've never heard of it. But yes, Bucky O'Hare. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with this game, I was familiar with it, but yet again, most of my value of video games goes from 4 years ago, so for NES games in particular. So I was thinking, oh sweet, that's like a $30 game, isn't it? It's like a $110, $120 game. So basically, worth what we paid for the entire lot of games here. So I don't think I could have done too bad on this excursion. And of course, the price label right there was slightly covering the label, so I took that bit off very quickly. But yeah, $3 for. We're of course going to mark it up and destroy it within this video because I do not know how to take care of my stuff. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for that actual trip. So. And when I say that, I mean, we got all that stuff in one go. That's probably like one of my most successful trips to the Goodwill. It's definitely the most I've ever spent at the Goodwill. I think by $60. I think however much the 150 record haul cost me. So like what, 65, 70 bucks that was. So yeah, definitely more expensive trip, but we did get quite a few cool things. Okay, so we're going to finish off this video with a few pickups from yesterday. Nothing too special, nothing amazing, but chronological, and from the same Goodwill, probably once played in the PlayStation 2 that I just found. But nonetheless, PlayStation 2 games for $2. We got Final Fantasy X-2. I'm not going to bother showing you it. It's complete. We've got Dead to Rights for the PlayStation 2. Did not have this one. I'm not sure if I had a Black Label copy of Final Fantasy 2, which is why, Final Fantasy X-2, which is why I made sure to pick that one up. And then I figured it was there, might as well. It's in great shape. Final Fantasy X. Yeah. And once again, all of those are complete in great shape. Usually won't buy a PlayStation 2 game if it isn't, or if it isn't, you know, like one that's really cool. But yeah, I think that's actually pretty much it. For pickups. So I might as well go ahead and talk about a few things with the channel. First of all, if you couldn't tell, production value, trying to bring that up. Trying to do better videos for you guys, the viewers. With, you know, better audio, better video, using my actual video camera that I used to use to hold my phone. And of course my light there, hopefully that's bright enough for this. And yeah, I'm planning a game room tour too, so that's going to be cool. It's going to be coming up. Can't wait. Though it is going to be very difficult to shoot because, as you can see, we're very narrow in here. This is like a very narrow space, so I don't know how I'm going to shoot it quite yet. But I'll figure it out, and then we will eventually do a game room tour. And then hopefully we will move down to the basement game room someday where, where it won't be as narrow. So that's going to be nice. And then what else? What else do we have to talk about? Record pickup video coming up soon. That one's going to be a long one. It's going to be really long. I got a stack of records like this big to show off. It's pretty crazy. And yeah, if you don't see videos too often nowadays, it's just because I've been very busy lately, and also I haven't been finding as many video games. So that's really all there is to it. I do plan on streaming though eventually. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I do hope to stream someday, live stream that is, video games, like this, we'll pull this Skyrim. Could stream Skyrim if I wanted to. Don't know why I would, but I could do that. No, I'd probably stream that one. That's a good game, the one that I just named right there. I can't find it, but Astyanax. I kind of want to stream Astyanax because it's fun, sort of. It's fun. Oh, there it is. It's fun and right here, Astyanax for the Nintendo. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and Sonic CD, of course. I want to do that too. Yeah, this has been Dusty. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you thought about the video in the comments. If you have any recommendations, particularly about the lighting and stuff, maybe trying out a better microphone setup than just this one. I might try to do something overhead where this actually booms downward, which I could do that. In fact, I might try to figure that out for the next video. But anyway, this has been Dusty. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Take it easy.